Recording started, Sachin? Okay. So a very good morning to one and all present here. First of all, I request all the non-speakers to keep their mic on mute. Let the speaker complete the session and we will have a separate question and answer round at last. So I, Abhishek Sharma, on behalf of Chaudhary Charan Singh, National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur, welcomes you all to the Kisan Mitra webinar series on agriculture technology for marketing, organized by Chaudhary Charan Singh, National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, in partnership with Office of Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur, is an autonomous organization established under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, to cater various agriculture related aspects such as training, research, consultancy, education in agriculture marketing. NIAM is also recognized globally as a center of excellence in Southeast Asia. Kisan Mitra, Friends of Farmers, is an initiative by Principal Scientific Advisor Office in partnership with Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur. The objective of this initiative is to bring technologies to farmers and reverse migrants who have moved rural due to impact of COVID-19. Under this initiative, more than 1,000 technologies have been identified which are supported by ICR institutions, NABARD, Ministry of Rural Development, ISRO, and Gates Foundation. On the supply side of the technology, there are innovators, entrepreneurs, researchers in academic and research institutions talking about their technology, and webinar participants being on the demand side who are typically agribusiness enthusiasts, government functionaries, agribusiness companies, and other agribusiness stakeholders who are keen in agri technologies. I request all these participants to keep their mic on mute. Moving further, I would like to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. M.K. Singh, who is currently working as a principal scientist at ICR Central Institute of Research on Goats, Magdoom, Mathura, Uttar Pradesh. He has been mainly working in the area of animal genetic improvement. He obtained his master and doctorate degree in animal genetics and breeding from National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, Haryana. During his 25 years of scientific career, he has immensely contributed for genetic improvement of different goat breeds in farm and fields. He has developed and disseminated many innovative models for goat productivity enhancement and their conservation. He has established 50 economically viable multiplier flocks of Babri and Jamnapuri breeds goat in 8 states. Dr. Singh has been actively involved in enhancing farmers' income by improvement of 16 goat breeds, besides developing region-specific technologies. He has worked in more than 30 research projects, including AICRP on goat improvement and National Agriculture Innovation Project Component 3 Livelihood. He has been acting as an advisor consultant of goat development for state government departments of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Goa, and northeastern states. Dr. Singh has been awarded Fellow of NAT's first Indian Institute of Sheep and Goat Production and Utilization and Society of Extension Education. He has published over 105 research papers in national and international journals, 52 technical articles, 38 policy papers, 6 books, and 9 bulletins, and several other success stories. He has delivered several online telecast programs on DD Kisan, the livestock technologies, management practices, goat-based agribusiness models, breeding programs developed by him are being adopted by researchers, farmers, and government agencies. Now, I would like to invite Dr. M.K. Singh to take a session on innovative and strategic management practices to increase goat farmers' income. Over to you, Dr. Singh.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek, and good morning to everybody. First of all, I want to extend my thanks to the organizers who have provided me the opportunity to share my views on a very important aspect, because goat is a tool to improve the livelihood security, particularly to the resource poor farmers. So nowadays, the entrepreneurs and the educated youth, the retired officials, they are also engaging themselves in the commercial goat farming. So certainly the involvement of the private partners and the economically such kind of partners will give a different platform for the goat farming, and it will be very much beneficial for the traditional goat farmers and all other type of farmers, as well as to the nation. So I'm just moving for my presentation. So in brief, I want to, because before sharing the innovative management practices and technology, it is also very important to understand what is the strength and opportunities with the goat, and what are the genetic resources. Because many times I have observed that the farmers select the breed as per his own wish without considering the agroclimatic condition, his basic purpose, market, and other inputs. So it is also very important in brief to understand what are the strengths of the goat. So India is having the 34 genetic breeds, and they are distributed across the agroclimatic condition, right from the Leh Ladakh to Kerala, and from the Saurashtra region of Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. So it means that the goats are available to the different agroclimatic regions, and our ancestors have developed them as per the agroclimatic need of that particular region. As you all know that the goat is having multifaceted utility because it provides meat, milk, wool, hair, skin, and manure. Nowadays, the side, because the goat meat is the major product of goat, but nowadays the milk and the manure, they are also emerging as a very good economic value of the goat products and byproducts. And these goat breeds, they are very well adapted to the difficult or disadvantageous agroclimatic regions, and they are very well adapted to climatic stress, disease resistance, low quality forage refuges, and the crop residues. And the biggest advantage with the goat farming is that it can be started with the very limited investment, and the sustainable manage the sustenance also require the small input. What I mean to say that the even the small farmer, the poor farmer with very limited resources can earn a lot from the goat farming, provided he followed the scientific practices. As the goat have low risk, suppose in case if it is going to die, still it has value, you can sell it. uh, and it is very well easily managed by the aged person, women, children, because I have seen in the Bundelkhand region, because all the youth, they went for the migratory labor work, and in the 80% families, the women and children, they retain in the villages, and they are very much engaged in the goat farming. And the goat is also having high feed conversion efficiency. And with respect to goat, there is no religious taboo that Hindus, Muslims, of and the people of different sects, they consume its products and byproducts and rear them. And the biggest advantage of the goat is that it has very less age of maturity, and at frequent interval it produce the its, so the farmer get regular source of income. And it has the opportunities with main opportunities with goat is that they they are very well suitable for the drought-prone region, suitable for the women farming, women empowerment, and they have the huge potential for exports, because nowadays the especially the goat milk is very well internationally recognized that it has the so many medicinal values, cosmetic values, and it has huge potential for the export. So the government of India, the council, they are trusting to improve the productivity of the milk breed. And as the goat has very less risk in the drought areas, because in the right, like in the Bundelkhand, in the Rajasthan, where if suppose there is a drought, then the productivity of large ruminant, it decrease like anything, and there is a heavy loss of livestock also. But in case of goat, they are more resistant, as well as they can move from one place to another place easily. So that's why in the Saurashtra region, in the Marwar region of Rajasthan, and in so many other places like Leh Ladakh, Jammu, the farmers move as per the availability of the feed resources. And the best advantage of goat is that it can very well utilize the low quality and infertile soil very effectively. As we all know that in India, the most of the livestock, they are reared under the natural breeding system, browsing system. And by the research, it has been proven that the goat is much more economically beneficial, sustainable than cow and buffalo under natural grazing system. So, in brief, I have covered the socio-economic contribution also in during the strength and opportunities. So, because in brief, I also want to share that because this slide is showing that see, we have 34 goat breeds and they are distributed across the agroclimatic region. Though the Gujarat having the largest caprine biodiversity with six goat breeds, but other states also they are having so many goat breeds, and so farmers from any region they can opt the commercial goat farming for their better income. This is the goat breed classification as per the temperate, as per the agroclimatic regions. So, the north temperate region, they are having the Gaddi, Chamthagi, Chegu, Pantija, and Bhakarwali goat breeds. In northwestern region, the Beetle, Jamnapari, Barbari, Srohi, Marwadi, Jhakrana, Surti, Gohilwadi, Kachhi, Jalawadi, Mehsana, Khami, and Rohilkhandi. I want to add one more thing that the breeds of the northwestern region, they are also having good potential for milk yield as compared to breed of other region, because this region the farmers they are basically dependent upon they consume, they prefer the milk, so they also of the in selection program they give preference for the milk also. So, and the eastern region is Ganjam and Black Bengal. Black Bengal is predominated by the entire eastern region, right from the eastern UP to Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Sikkim, and many other northern states. And Ganjam is found in the Odisha. In the northeastern state, the Sumini and Assami, they are also recently recognized goat breeds. In south, there are so many goat breeds, and they are basically for the meat purpose. However, the Sangamneri and Osmanabadi, they are also, and Malawari, they are also good for milk. And the eastern coastal region, Andaman Nicobar, is Teresa. This is a meat breed and having quite phenotypic resemblance with the black Bengal goat. So these are the photograph of some of the important goat breeds of India. And just in brief, that because I have tried to comprise this, what is the potential of the goat breeds. So the breeds of the northwest, basically the northwestern region, most of them, they are good for the milk yields. They are Beetle, Jhakrana, Jamnapari, Surti, Jalawadi, Gohilwadi. And these breeds have milk yield from 150 to 280 liter in a lactation period of 130 to 180 days. I like to emphasize here that the potential is even much more because the most of the breeds, even more than 90% goat breeds, they are reared under the extensive system under which the optimum nutritional requirement is not provided to the goats. That's why their milk yield, lactation period, and so many the growth traits, the reproductive traits were very severely affected. So first of all, we have to increase the knowledge and knowledge of our goat farmers that if we want to have a good production from goat breeds, we have to adopt the semi-intensive or intensive feeding management system or the static management system under which at critical stages like the growing stages, advanced pregnancy stages, lactation stages, we have to provide the optimum balanced diet for the expression of their optimum production. So these are the dual purpose breeds and Barbary, Srohi, Marwadi, Kachhi, Mehsana, Khami, Rohilkhandi, Sangamneri, Osmanabadi, Malawari, Berari. What I mean to say dual purpose because they also produce milk in a good amount, but not as much as the dairy breeds. And they having relatively more prolificacy. Like they having they in every kidding they produce more number of kids. So the meat produced by these breeds in a year is more than the milk breeds. If we consider the age at first kidding interval in account and prolification, of course. So this now many of our viewers they know that the Burberry has been uh, very rapidly gaining its place in the entire this entire northern region and in the semi-arid region of Saurashtra because this breed has been found very much suitable for the semi-intensive and intensive feeding management where the other breeds, especially the females, during the lactation periods could not perform so well. So because we have at CIRE we have initiated a multiplier crop program and under which the farmers raise their Burberry goats in the intensive and semi-intensive system. For that, they also kept the Srohi, Jamnapari, Beetle, and other goat breeds. It is their view that the Burberry performance is much better under intensive feeding management as compared to other goat breeds. Though the Srohi is very hardy and very good breeds and very much suitable across the feeding management system. Its performance is very good in extensive means the grazing system, the semi-intensive and intensive system. The other breeds also have very good potential. This Malabari, Osmanabadi. So these are all improver goat breeds. These are the goat breeds distributed in the northwestern region where temperature is quite low, goes up to minus 30, 40 degrees centigrades. And basically they are utilized for the meat as well as the fiber, which is normally known as the pasmina. But the farmers and the fiber produced from the dirty breeds, it is coarse and it is utilized for the carpet and other purposes. Because the goats in these regions were maintained dominantly by under the pastoralist system, where they go for long migration and they remains on the extensive system because they were not provide any kind of supplementary feeding. In addition to that, they are also not provided very well the health care, housing, and so many things. So they have much more potential. And personally, I have observed that at some of the Gaddi farmers, the milk yield is, I have observed 1.5 liter milk yield under the extensive system. It means it has good potential for milk yield also. So these are the meat breeds mostly found in the southern region, and the black the milk yield in these breeds is uh, very less, or you can say just able to nourish their kids, and lactation length is also less. But in southern, the number of breeds are so many, and whereas in the eastern region, it is predominated by Black Bengal and one of the finest, very good quality meat breeds, because it has very less age at first kidding, like month, 12 months, and they give many number of kids, 2, 3, 4 at a time. Kidding interval is also 6 to 7 months. But it was reported by the farmers that the kid mortality is high, which I have observed basically due to two reasons. Because the farmers maintain on the extensive system, so they are not these goats are not able to generate sufficient milk for their kids. Secondly, the good quality male are indiscriminately slaughtered or utilized for the slaughter purposes. So the breed size of Black Bengal is gradually declining, which is not a good sign, and we have to make our farmers knowledgeable. And this is my message to the progressive farmers and other farmers. While they are going to set up a breeding stock or the commercial stock, they should go. They should give focus for the body size as well as milk yield, because it has sufficient prolificacy, and the kids mortality is high due to the lack of milk. So we have to simultaneously improve the body size as well as milk yield in case of Black Bengal breed. Because CIRG is conducting training, and the farmers, they quite often say that these are the meat breeds, so there is no requirement to enhance the milk yield. But it is not like that. The optimum amount of milk is very much required for the kids' growth as well as their survivability. So we have to simultaneously put attention for the milk yield also. So this is about the goat breeds, and I have just mentioned their major characteristics. Only thing is that in the goats of the large size breed like Jamna, Pari, Beetle, Jatrana, they are late maturing. The age at first kidding is about 20 to 26 months, and they are also having the good prolificacy, like the tuning rate is 30 to 50%. Like in the Jagrana, it is many times more than 50%. And in Beetle, it is 45%. Jamnapari, 40%. So the Surohi has lesser prolificacy, which is about 15 to 20%. And this is just, I have on the basis of data obtained from our penny farmers. So on that information, I have tried to characterize or analyze the economic characteristics of major goat breeds in 2016. So the income is based on the data which was available in 2016, because this is very important. Why I am saying so? Because the farmers of Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Bengal, and so many areas, they 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 give lot of importance to goats of northern region, like the Jamnapari, Srohi, Beetle, and which is not so economically viable option. So with the farmers who are having the organized goat farm, so I have tried to collect the information and compiled it, which I have shown in front of you. So the right from the initial cost here, the age at first kidding interval, it's produced in 3 years by the Barbary, Black Bengal, Jamnapari, and Sirohi wheat, and kids survival up to 12 months, and the incidence of multiple births, and the body weight attained at 12 months, body weight delivered per female in a year, milk yield per year, surplus milk. So ultimately, the message I want to give you that if you maintain the goats under the proper feeding, proper housing, and health care, all the breeds are having almost equal net profit per goat per year in a year. It is net profit. है ना? So, uh, because it is also very important to understand what kind production system is there. Because first, if you want to introduce some innovative management practices, so under which area, which region, what kind of innovation or the strategy or management practices are required. So this is the by and large, our more than 90% farmers, they rear the goat, which is shown in the slide, and only 2% goats are under intensive and semi-intensive feeding system. So if you consider the feeding system or management system, we should be very much satisfied what the goats are producing. And if the management system improved, if not at all by 40-50%, the productivity and profitability per goat definitely increased by 50 to 100%. So under the goat production system, they do not feed the goats as per their the milk yield, as their the reproductive efficiency, as per their growth rate. So the goats which are good in milk yield, high prolificacy, they affect more severely and quickly as compared to the goats which are low in potential. So we have to give lot of emphasis on the proper feeding system. And in the I have observed, this is not in the book, in the I have observed in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Bengal, and so many states that the availability of pure and potential buck is very very low. It ranges from one male to 40 female to one male to 100 female, because in many of the areas, especially when I worked in the Bundelkhand, this stray buck, Mata ka bakra, it is basically utilized for the breeding purposes. So with unknown genetic potential, and most of the time with very low potential, so gradually it decreases the genetic potential of the goats available in the villages. And at some of the farmers, like in the western Rajasthan, Saurashtra region of Gujarat, and this temperate region, they select the buck with a good merit, but they utilize it for a very long period of time, and also utilize its own son in the same flock. So it simultaneously also lead to the inbreeding, which subsequently decrease the fertility, fitness, and production performance of the goats. Because as we know that for the sustainable genetic improvement, the data recording is very much required, very much essential. But the except the government institution, I haven't find any data recording with the organized goat farmer or the proper data recording. So if we have to improve the genetic potential of our animal, we have to record the data, if not very systematically at a long interval, but data recording is very much required. And and that's why the productivity gap is very high. And one thing I also like to mention, that the large flock size are reducing in the villages due to the loss of community grazing land. But good thing is that the small flock size are increasing. Like in earlier time, the farmers in a village, 2 or 3 farmers, they rear good number of goats. But nowadays their size is very much declined. But many of the farmers, they are keeping 2, 3, 4, 5 goats. And in village condition, the vaccination and deworming is highly inadequate. So this is very important management practices for the improving the productivity, because not only it adversely affect the survivability, it also affect the growth rate. So we have to put lot of focus on the deworming and vaccination against the infectious diseases. Nowadays, one major problem has emerged, the inadequate housing of goats, because due to the large human population and keeping the other livestock species, so the farmers, they do not realize it, that the goats require the optimum housing for its optimum production. So in a very small places, very overcrowded places, they keep so many goats of all the age group, all the categories, whether it is kids, bugs, lactating goats. So it lead to high morbidity, mortality, and the productivity also goes down like anything. So, and many times the farmers, they do not realize, like the vaccination, housing, supplementary feeding, this is required for the goats. So this is the wherever I have worked. So these are the some of the photographs, like how the goats are kept like this in the Saurashtra region of Gujarat. There is no shelter here during the night hours. They keep goat even during the night winter season like this only. So, in brief, again, I am just putting that the major constraint is the inefficient, inappropriate production system. Like they are on the zero input, and the nondescript or poor genetic makeup of goats in want of organized breed improvement program is increasing. So we have to, because over the period, population of such goats is increasing, though our livestock census data is, sometimes show some different figure, but fact is that the purebred population is decreasing, and there is a huge scarcity of superior bucks, which also lead to indiscriminate breeding, breed dilution, and negative genetic improvement. There is a large knowledge gap on the improved management practices, and the veterinary health services, they are highly inadequate, particularly in case of small ruminant, because the many times the small ruminant cannot bring to dispensary. So the vaccination, deworming, and treatment, all these aspects, so these are highly inadequate. And they are the code-based professional agribusiness model, integrated model, they are less in number, and there is a need to popularize in a big way. And the institutional credit facility, it is very difficult in case of goat farmers, because many times it was associated with the forest and other things. So I have personally interacted with the farmers. The loan for the sheep, the cattle, uh, could be easily manageable as compared to goat. I don't know why it is so. So if we have to promote the intensive or semi-intensive production system, we have to make some liberal facilities so that the farmers can purchase the housing equipment, feeding equipment, and high quality input and animals also. And the market for the goat and goat products is highly unorganized. I have observed in my own area that the except a few days, like now, if there is a chikungunya, dengue, and other things, so the goat milk price goes up to 500 rupees or 1000 liter. Otherwise, the market for goat milk is just like 20 rupees or 25 rupees. So the government, it has the major the thrust has to be given by the government to for the collection of milk, their storage, and ultimately selling to the market where it has huge demand. Like nowadays in metros, there is a huge demand for the goat milk. So these are the some of the challenges we have to improve the goat productivity. And the goat keepers, one of the biggest challenge or the even it has to be on the shoulder of farmers, because farmers they are not they do not rear the bucks. So that lead to the ultimately negative genetic improvement, and farmers has to be made knowledgeable. uh, we have to realize the importance of quality work. That is very, very important. And the artificial insemination is also on the way. But the conception rate with present artificial insemination is about 35 to 40%. And many times farmers do not agree or do not allow with the AI because due to the less conception rate, because in natural services it is more than 80%. One of the biggest challenges farmers not realizing that they are indiscriminately selling or castrating their high potential milk. And this is the major reason of declined milking in case of Jamnapari, Beetle, and so many milk breed in the field area, because the high quality milks they were purchased by the butcher on relatively better prices. So ultimately, the male with very low genetic merit were left and used for the breeding programs. So simultaneously, we have to set up so many the buck mother farm of important goat breeds, and the feed and fodder resource development is also very, very important. And we have to address the grazing resources, community grazing resources, which by and large taken by the village panchayat और उस पर कुछ लोगों का कब्जा है. So this is not good. And in India, since this goat milk has emerged as a very good opportunity, so we have to develop a dairy goat breeds, which produce more than 3 liter milk, or in an overall lactation period about 250 liter milk. And for the better realizing of the prices by the farmer, we have to develop this linkage programs from the market, from the farmer, and development of slaughter facilities and old chains. So these are the some of the tools by which we can improve the production aspect, which are breeding, feeding, healthcare, housing, and strategic management. And all these tools they are going to improve the milk yield, feeding rate, survival rate, finishing rate, dressing percentage, bone to meat ratio, and productivity of both. So just in 1 or 2 minutes, if a new farmer want to set up a goat farm, so what he has to do? So first of all, he has to acquire knowledge on the this scientific goat farming and skill development, and we choose the breed according to the adaptability, purpose of goat farming, and suitability of breed for the feeding management system. So And this, at the same time, selection of animal is very, very important, because like in case of Jamnapari, you will find goats with half liter of milk and with 4 liter of milk. So the trainage, they go absolutely as per the breed, but there is a huge variation within breed. So whenever a farmer want to start our breeding stock or the seed production stock, he should select many animals of pure breed, as well as give high focus on the individual genetic merit. So goat used in the foundation stock should be of high genetic merit, and they are the unrelated, because many times farmer purchase goats from the same flock. Because if a farmer is going to set up a farm at a distant places, so he should prefer the young stock, because they relatively adapt quickly and early, and always purchase the vaccinated animals. And uh, the ratio of male and female, initially a farmer can keep ratio 10 is to 15, one buck is to 10 is to 15, just to to inculcate, to create the more genetic variability. Later on in the breeding flock, it can be 1 is to 20, and the in the village flock or community improvement program, it could be 1 is to 30 or even more, depending upon the fitness and semen quality. And the because I have once when I worked with the goat farmers, I have found that the many of the farmers could not sustain their goat farm, because they invest a lot of money on the goat housing, and give least preference to the animals. They purchase animals of very poor quality, and purchase lot of animals. So, in spite of training, I suggest the goat farmer to start a farm with 30 to 50 animals, and once they acquire more knowledge, they should increase the strength as per the availability of quality animals and the resources available. So, this is about the selection of male and its utilization. In short, that it should be pure and high potential male, and it should have the merit. It should have the characteristics of about 30 to 40% above than the average population. What I mean to say that it should be
Sir,
son
you have
of
2 minutes to complete the session.
अरे अच्छा ओके ओके
Only 2 minutes.
ओनली 2 मिनट
Yes, sir.
अरे ठीक ओके तो तो ओके 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 so this is about the impact of management intervention in the Bundelkhand, because the in a experiment program we have the this deworming, improved utilization of improved work and housing. So what in brief what I want to say, that the net income of a goat farmer, which was earlier 1352 rupees, increased to 4,741 rupees. And in the Bundelkhand region, we also developed the integrated model, where we have the goat with poultry, with cow and buffaloes and so many things. So this model is very much successful in the drought-prone area. That what I mean to say, that the goat could be reared with the poultry, cow, buffalo, and it is a economic venture. So this is the some of the our farmers, they raise the goat for the EAT purposes, and the net income with this model is about 8,000 to 9,000 rupees. So these are the some of the improver goat breeds of different region, like Changthangi for north temperate region, Gaddi for low altitude, Beetle for northwestern region, Barbary entire North India, Jamnapari for the milk yield for the North India under semi-intensive and good quality fodder and housing. Surohi with entire northwest region, and for across the feeding system, Osmanabad in the entire Deccan area, Surti western coastal region, Malawari southern eastern coastal region, and the Black Bengal in the eastern region. So this is something about our multiplier goat flocks. So these farmers they start the farm with the high quality animals, and now they are earning uh, 8,000 to 10,000 rupees per goat and 8 to 10 lakh rupees per unit. So with the good quality of animals, they can earn a lot. These are the multipliers. Okay, I will finish in time. So the important thing is that foundation stock of goats should be of high merit and purebred. Adapt a breed or select the breed according to local environment and the market. And the upgradation of non-descript goat, adoption of preventive and prophylactic health measures is very, very important. And strategic supplementary feeding. Best age of purchase the animal is young, when they are young, and the give the kids with high growth rate and high milk yield should not be allowed for the slaughter. Rather, they should be select for the breeding purposes. So the goat has tremendous potential for sustainable income, food security, poverty alleviation, and adoption of improved management practices and low-cost technology for accelerating productivity and profit. Popularization of medicinal and nutritive value of goat milk. Selective breeding is very, very important. Here the population have the purebred population, whereas grading up is having lot of potential to improve the productivity of the nondescript or low potential goat. The agribusiness farms or the seed unit or the multiplier flocks, they have lot of potential as a dissemination unit, because these units, these multiplier flocks are acting as a dissemination model. Farmers reach these farms once they realize that he's getting lot of profit with this package of practices and technology and earning this much of money. So then they realize, and that's why the many of the farmers they are adopting the goat farming, commercial goat farming, and the improvement and utilization of dairy goat breed is very, very important, and strengthening of credit capacity building in extension network program and development of backward and forward linkages. So this is all about this thing. Somehow, due to lack of time, I could not made this focus on the strategic housing and healthcare.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Now I request all the participants to unmute and raise their questions one by one. You can also write your questions in the chat box. So first question came like V Agrosonic Solutions Private Limited is an agri-tech startup based in Pune, Maharashtra, and is being nurtured by AIC Pinnacle, a not-for-profit organization supported by Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission. As an
Yes.
upcoming technology business startup, how can we collaborate? It is also being showcased by agni.gov.in as an upcoming innovation on their website. So he was basically asking that where they wants to collaborate.
They can collaborate with the CIRG also. They can collaborate CIRG. We are collaborating with so many such kind of agencies, NGOs, KVKs, and the farmers. So for providing the technical know-how and guidance on the scientific goat farming on different aspects, like whether it is value addition of meat or value addition of milk and housing and other areas. So
Hello. Mr. Singh, my question was a little different. I'm calling from Agrosonic Solutions. We
Okay.
have developed a livestock management software wherein we monitor goat and sheep records for an entire farm. We have been working with Punyashloka Ahilya Devi Mahamandal, which is a Maharashtra state government organization. And apart from that, we have been monitoring goat records all over the world. We have clients in South Africa, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, in India also. So many people have been using our software, but we would like your support and we would like to have your help in promoting this particular software so that it reaches all the goat farmers in India.
Okay, it is a very welcome and good thing because CIRG is also associated with so many progressive farmers and entrepreneurs. So we will definitely extend your software to those farmers. But before that, it is also important to know whether it is working on the production trait or only on the income aspects, because for the sustainable genetic improvement program it is very important to keep the record on the pedigree and production parameters along with the resources available and economic parameters. So it is a good thing, and CIRG will be very happy to collaborate with you or any other such party.
Thank you, sir. If you can share your email ID, we would be very happy to get in touch with you and do the next steps.
Okay, okay, I will share my email ID.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
So I have shared your email ID and mobile number with every participants who have joined the program, sir. And now I think it's the you can raise your questions or you can directly write on the email ID provided. And if you have any queries, if any participant is having any query, can also unmute his or her mic and raise a question. Any queries from the participants? Sir, one more question from KVK Kurnol. What is the economic impact of inbreeding?
Actually, inbreeding lead to what is inbreeding? First, we have to understand it is the breeding among the close relatives. So when there is a inbreeding, it decreases the fitness, the survivability, and the growth rate, like the milk production. So it also varies. So if there is a high inbreeding, there is a less milk yield, a less growth rate, the more kids mortality, the prolificacy also goes down. So we have to keep the inbreeding in a control limit. Like if there is a organized farm where they are having like 200, 300 population, breedable population, so the minor degree of inbreeding is eventual. It cannot be avoided. But a high degree of inbreeding, so we should take preventive measures to avoid the high degree of inbreeding so that our stock remain healthy, fit, more productive.
Any other questions from the participants?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, one and all. Dr. M.K. Singh, sir.
Yes.
I'm a Dr. Gajendra Mamani. I'm speaking from Meerut.
Okay.
I run one training school at Agra. We provide artificial insemination training course for 3 months. And
Okay.
after that, we absorb in our firm, Excel Breeding and Livestock Service Private Limited. Sir, we want to make a collaboration for starting that goat training. We do having all the infrastructure. So how when you make a collaboration with you?
Right. Just for that thing, you have to write one letter to our director, our director or our institute, because we are also having collaboration with the people who are working for the good productivity improvement, marketing, value addition. So it is very good thing, and we have a very good team of doing with the artificial insemination, and lot of experiments is also simultaneously going in our institute. So
Okay.
just to increase the consumption rate.
And
So
sir, yeah, right. We used to visit many places internationally. I've been in Italy for 2 times because we are having. I have seen many farms at that area, so we can import semen if those farmer are interested. So we make a collaboration in such a way that those farmer are interested to purchase our imported semen. So such type of things, it is possible like that.
no, because for the utilizing the semen of exotic breed,
Okay.
we have to take the permission from our council,
Okay.
because we should be very cautious while using the semen of exotic breed, because
Mm.
it should be used as per the farmers' resources availability, the
Mhm.
agroclimatic condition, and the dilution and the endangerment problem also. Because
Mhm.
in India, many of the breeds, they are though not in the endangered category, but
Mhm.
if we have not taken care, they may go in that category. So we do not want to use the semen of such breeds in our highly promising good breeds like Beetle, Jamnapari, Jakrana, Surti, Barbary.
Mhm.
So for that, using the exotic semen, imported semen, we have to take permission from our council.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and our ADG, Dr. Visesh Saxena sir. He's probably he's also in this program, and he
Mhm.
can give better answer for this question
Mhm.
if he is there.
Okay.
Sir, one more question, like how much time a native breed required to get fully adapted for stall-fed system?
Actually, it all depend upon the breed, है ना? Because all the breeds are not in the same manner or in the same time frame or in the same for the stall feeding system, because they have evolved in a manner like the breeds which were they like the Jamuna Pari breed, or the Sirohi breeds. These breeds require more time to adapt under the stall feeding system. And I also request to the farmers, uh, whenever we talk the stall feeding, it doesn't mean you have to keep the goats in the captivity like buffaloes, because goats require little more space for, if not for grazing, at least for their walking and this thing. So we have observed with our farmers, the farmers who are having some extra spaces for their walking or just moving around there, their performance is better than those farmers who kept them in captivity. So, and the meat breeds, they are relatively quickly adapted to the stall feeding system.
So, sir, one more question. In recent days, many of the northern breeds like Sojat, Black Bengal, Sirohi are rearing many of southern states. So, please provide certain measures to improve the productivity.
Actually, because because no, nobody can stop to anybody to bring the animals, but I request to the farmers that first you, if you want to gain more income from goat farming, you select animals of your local breed, but with good genetic merit. Actually, the people think that if we purchase the beetle from Punjab, it will give 4 liter milk. But once they purchase, it goes to the southern region, it also start giving 1.5 liter milk. So there is a genetic environment interaction, and the mortality also goes high. So I request the goat farmer that whenever you bring the animal, you should be very cautious while using the animals from different places. Rather, you start goat farming with your own animal with of high genetic merit. Like in suppose in case of if you are in the southern region, you purchase Malavari with 1.5 liter or 2 liter instead of purchasing a beetle goat from Punjab. So the improvement will be sustainable. What I mean to say, the Malavari goats will give milk yield over the generation and it will improve. Whereas if you purchase the beetle, it will decrease over the generation.
Sir, just we will take two, three questions more. So, what are the programs of Government of India to improve the dairy goat breeds?
Actually, under our All India Coordinated Research Project program, we have taken the genetic improvement program on almost all milk breeds like Beetle, Jamnapari, Surti. So, very soon, likely that the government of India may launch some more attractive program so that the farmers should start having large flocks of dairy breed because during last few years the demand for goat milk have emerged like anything. Right? So far government is do not have any special or different program for the dairy goat.
Sir, which breed will be suitable for rearing in mid hills of Nainital?
Nainital. Actually, in the Uttarakhand region, because I will also just come in Uttarakhand, those which are plain or closer to the plain region, where we have set up our multiply flock of Barbary goat farm and Jamnapari also. But at high altitude, we advise farmers to keep the Gaddi breed or the Chogarkha breed because in the Uttarakhand, Chogarkha is not a recognized, but very soon it is going to be recognized. So it is found in the Almora and Nainital region, and it is very much similar, having lot of resemblance with the Gaddi breeds. So I think this Gaddi is suitable for raising Nainital region.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what is the concern about the African crossbreeds with Indian breeds?
Actually, this boar, because in Africa, this boar breeds have been very indiscriminately utilized. Many of the private parties, they give the confidence to the farmers that the progeny of crossbred animals will be 70 kg, 80 kg, but nothing has happened like that. So I sincerely advise the farmers because they go for their own breed and keep them well because the farmers which use the poor semen and kept them under the extensive system, the kids' performance was much more lower than their own breeds. So whenever we talk about the high potential or improver breeds, it also need equally the input source input. So far the government of India has not recommended or suggested to go for boar breed for the upgrading or crossbreeding in India.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So now on the conclusion side, India is home to the second largest goat population already, making goats a readily accessible resource. Goat farming has traditionally been a major livelihood for many rural families. Biologically, goats are a strong resource because they can reproduce twice a year, giving birth to twins more often than triplets and quadruplets. It is an activity that requires minimal investment and inputs cost. Goats are also prolific breeders and have a good survival rate in drought prone areas. There is a market for goat based products such as goat cheese in overseas markets. This will connect India and in particular rural India to global competitive markets. Goats also provide more than just milk products such as leather and meat. which expands the market that can be reached through the development of goat farming in India. Raising goats is an income generating activity that has enormous potential to increase income of farmer and improve nutrition for resource poor households, especially in remote, tribal, and ecologically vulnerable areas. Presently, commercial goat farming has emerged as an important drivers of agriculture growth in India. Goat farming has huge opportunity in rural development as goats has potential for export of products, capital storage, household income, employment, and nutrition. It is suitable for women and could be used for rural women empowerment. So the whole object of this presentation, it has informed us about the best management practices and innovations in goat farming and their adoption levels in India. So once again, I would like to thank Dr. Singh for the presentation. Many thanks, sir, for sharing your invaluable experience in agriculture technology, and participants really benefited from your talk. And
Thank
at
you.
last, I would like to thank everyone for sparing their valuable time with us. And if you have any queries, any questions, you can also directly email to the respective speaker, Dr. Manoj, and the mobile number is also provided to you so that you can reach him directly. And at last, like, I would like to thank again once again everybody for spending their valuable time with us. Our next webinar will be on Thursday, 10th of September 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhishek, and thank you everybody, every viewer who have patiently listened this webinar. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Thank you, sir. Sachin, please save the recording and save the text as well. I request all participants to leave the meeting.